Valve. Valve? Valve. Valve? Valve. 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 An American game developer. The developer of Steam. Which made our favorite games like Half-Life.
Stop fucking with the microwave!
Portal.
And I just wanted to give you the chance to kill yourself now.
Day of Defeat.
Ow! How did I kill you too? And you said you got me with the headshot!
Left 4 Dead. Dota.
17 months of unconditional love.
Can this? Guys, go away! Why is it like doing on my screen?
Counter-Strike.
Green, what's your problem, Green? What is your problem? Missile alone ramp. Missile alone ramp.
And of course, the main topic of this video, Team Fortress 2. But it has a problem. Now, I'm gonna be straightforward with you. I like this game, but it feels like I hate it more and more, and it might come to a point that I will never touch this game ever again. And no, it's not due to the bots, the cheaters, the cringe people that have put over 7 million hours in the game just to hop into casual to steamroll everyone who has a life! It's Valve. And my main issue is the updates. Every update, aside the patch notes, seems to be a shell of what we could have had. The only part that Valve puts work in is the patch notes. Every update since Jungle Inferno has been the same slop. Jungle Inferno update. It released October 20th, 2017. And that was the last major update. Every update that we've gotten since. Seasonal updates. Scream Fortress 9, October 26th, 2017. Smithmas 2017, December 21st. Blue Moon, March 28th, 2018. Scream Fortress 10, October 19th, 2018. Smithmas 2018, December 19th. Summer 2019, July 25th. Scream Fortress 11, October 10th, 2019, Smithmas 2019, December 16th, Summer 2020, August 21st. You get the idea. It's the same slop every time. Summer, Halloween, winter. Summer, Halloween, winter. Summer, Halloween, winter. Summer, Halloween, winter. Summer, Halloween, summer, Halloween, Halloween, winter. Summer, Halloween, Halloween, winter. Halloween, winter. Summer, Halloween, winter. Same slop. It's all community created. Now, I mean, no disrespect for any of the amazing map creators, cosmetic creators, taunt creators, unusual effect creators. But enough is enough. I am tired of getting only cosmetics that recently seem very similar to already existing ones. Only maps that I know I will never touch. Only taunts. Okay, I don't hate much. I don't have much hate for these, as they are pretty cool. But we can only get so many fresh new taunts before they start getting repeated. This has already taken place in the vehicle taunts for most of the classes, which is cool and specific to the class, but the idea in the long term, not so much. And do not get me started on the unusual effects that we have way too many of already. And do not get me started on the unusual effects that we have way too much of already. I mean, do we really need 307 unusual effects? And yes, I am not making this up. Now, you might be saying, oh, the fact, some of the updates actually added new game modes, like Tug of War versus Saxon Hail and Zombie Infection. And you know what? Sure, you're right. Those were basically new content, but guess what? Every one of those 3 is community made. Now, don't get me wrong, it is so cool to finally get some new game modes to this game, but my issue does not lie with the people creating these amazing things. It lies with...
You're not listening! This isn't about me! This is about the thousands of people murdered and countless other lives destroyed! Why is above the law? Why does never pay for his crimes?
Valve has done nothing from their part but implement the community-made things to the game, which I cannot imagine is much effort as most of the items are already made to be easily implemented to the base game. But then, what do I know? I'm just a measly player of a game I love, right? We've had 3 game modes made by the community, hundreds of unusual effects made by the community, hundreds of cosmetics made by the community. Do you see the pattern? Seems that Valve has gotten so lazy to the point that they do not even care enough about this game to give us something that they've made. They're just adding community-made slop. Yet again, no disrespect intended for the makers of said things. Without any effort on their part. Again, the only thing they seem to do is patch notes. And even then, the patch notes are mostly to fix the issues with the hats! Now, I know that the team focusing on Team Fortress 2 is not as big as it once was, but think about it. Why are they doing this? People are still playing, right? People are still spending money, right? So what's the problem? And I'll be honest, I do not know. But one thing.
One thing, I don't know why, it doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, that the time is right, I can explain in due time. Oh, I know, time is a
But one thing is for sure, Valve has stopped caring. Let's take a second to talk about the content creators for TF2. I think it's safe to say that the community for content creators has officially run out of things to talk about in their game, to keep it relevant. I mean, can you blame them? No. 7 years of no major update will do this to their community. It's been pretty negative so far, so let's just swap the vibe around a little bit, shall we? Let's talk about what would make a good update. Now, disclaimer please. Now, during this bit, I will talk about what I want from an update to consider it a major. If you don't care about my views and actually despise me so far, you can skip to the number. To the time? Number? Yes, the number. The time on the screen that I'm gonna show you right now. Still here? Okay, thanks. I think. So, what do I want from an update? Well, firstly, I do not want 9 or more unusual effects. I think 1 or 2 should be good enough, at least for the cosmetics. Now, I know for a fact a lot of people who trade unusuals might disagree with me. But this is from my opinion, from a casual player's perspective and point of view. Now, I could talk about the market being messed up by the new unusual effects. Now, I could talk about the market being messed up by the new unusual effects, but I do not know enough about the matter to make makes. I like, very nice, I makes apple crumble today, yes, yes, very nice, it's very good, very tasty, it's so good in my belly, very nice. And I could talk about the market being messed up by the new unusual effect, but I do not know enough about the matter to make a justified agreement. Argument!
Oh my god.
I could talk about the market being messed up by the new unusual effects, but I do not know enough about the matter to make a justified argument. From what I've seen is that the new unusual effects do mess up some people, but you can be the judge of that and do your own research.
Oh, just decrease the amount of unusual effects and then that can be done.
Wrong. That is not the only thing to make a perfect update. Have you seriously got such low self-respect to think that you deserve only this from a $7 billion company? Damn, bro. Might want to look into that. Anyway, 1 to 2 unusual effects for cosmetics. Okay, but what about unusual taunts? Well, for taunts, I think this same rule could be applied. 1 to 2 unusual effects. What about cosmetics? Well, obviously more is better, no?
Wrong again. If we keep having 20 cosmetics added every seasonal update, then the community will make repeating cosmetics, as talked about during the start of this video.
This is already the case for some cosmetics. They look very similar to the ones released much earlier. Is it really that bad? Yes, I think so. I truly think this is bad. And before you go into the comments and add more hate to the comment you already made, and I hear you typing, okay, stop, hear me out. More is not better, because somewhere down the line, we will run out of new content to add. You can take my word for it. Or you can either go like,
You know what? This random guy that I'm listening to right now on the internet just might have a good point.
or,
So it's trust me, bro.
wow. You're a funny guy, aren't you? Here, this is for you. On a more serious note, you cannot be that ignorant and not see the pattern, and I think your pattern recognition receptors might be having a major scale issue. So, how many cosmetics would be good? I think having this many would be good. 1 elite grade, which is red. I'm not colorblind. 2 assassin grades, pink. 3 commando grades, purple, and around 4 to 5 mercenary grades, which is blue. I'll make a table so it's easier to see. Something around this I would consider to be good. I think this, because 10 to 11 cosmetics being added every seasonal update would still have a negative impact on the repetitive cosmetic factor that I was talking about earlier, but it wouldn't be as bad as it is already. It will slow it down slightly. What about war paints? I think for this I would like the reduced amount as well, following this format. 1 elite grade, red, 1 assassin grade, pink, 2 commando grade, purple, 3 mercenary grade, blue. And again, I'm making a table here. You might be asking,
Why do you only want 7 war paints? Are you stupid?
To answer that question, yes, but only slightly. Okay, moving on. Let me ask you this. Do you really want more than 10 war paints every season to be update? Yes. Do you really want more than 10 war paints every season to be added? Do you really use every single one of those new war paints added? Think about the bigger picture. I mean, there are some people that collect war painted fish. Moving on, how about maps? Now, I would say I am pretty biased about this, as I have basically never touched 9/10 of the new maps added, unless they were included in the Halloween contract. And even then, I never fully complete the contracts for Halloween, so... But I think it's safe to say that 1 to 3 new maps would be decent. If you disagree with me, just let me know what you think down below. Let's get back to track.
Oh, so you're just decreasing the amount of content we get? Whose side are you on?
I am the storm that is approaching.
I see your point. I'm not willingly trying to make this game die. I am trying to make this game stick around, and I just see that if we keep going at the rate we're going at now, the game might actually die faster. Do you really want that? And if you said yes, I swear to God, I'm going to... What do you mean I can't do that to them? Did you hear what they said? Ah, whatever. Ooh. What's this? What's this? Read it out. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back now, and I'm a better person thanks to your opinions? Who wrote this? Oh yeah, I did. Moving past what just happened, let's move on to what to add next, shall we? Okay, so far, we spoke about unusual effects, cosmetics, war paints, and maps. So, what about the taunts? Now taunts, I feel like they are in a good area at the moment of making this video, so I would personally not change anything about them. Aside maybe decreasing the amount of them added per update slightly. We seem to be getting a lot of all-class ones recently. Now, they are pretty cool, but, you know, going back to the point of this video, of, you know, too much being not good, you know. Yeah. You're right, you get it, yeah? Of course, you can leave a comment below and tell everyone your suggestions. Anything else to add? Yes! Notice how the workshop has tons of amazing weapon designs? Oh yeah, I'm going in that direction. I absolutely love new weapons. It adds a totally different playstyle for a class and keeps the engagements new. Take the Backburner for example. Encourages the player to attack the enemy from behind and rewards them for doing so instead of facing them head on. I find that pretty cool. There are a lot of good weapon ideas out there. There's tons of weapon concepts on YouTube. I watch them. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. Now, of course they're gonna have to get balanced, right? Yeah, of course. Of course. Everything will have to get balanced. Now, you can complain all you want and say, "We have enough weapons! Get a hold of yourself!" And here I agree with you. Slightly. I do think we have a good amount of weapons, but to freshen the gameplay up and to feed those sweet content creators, we need new weapons. Unless you want the game to die, right? You don't want the game to die, right? You care about the game, right? Okay, fine. But what do we need? Well, I think that at least 1 or 2 new weapons every seasonal update would be huge. It would be similar to Jungle Inferno in a sense. It would change the meta around a bit, so that's good. To add to this, patch notes.
What the hell? Are you insane? I was on board, but this is too far!
Listen, what do other games do? They give players new patch notes to change the meta. Even if those things are in a good area, right? What do you think the meta for weapons changes? Why do you think the meta for weapons changes in different games? To let people use other weapons, right? Make the worst weapons get a light up to them. Right? Now, I know a lot of people will disagree with me on the next bit, but honestly I do not mind. It's a hill I will die on. That hill being, I much prefer weapons that have weird, positive or negative stats for them. Now, before you start foaming from the mouth, let me offer my point of view. What this thing does is it enables people to look at the stats more and actually pay attention to what the stats do. Now, okay, some of these stats are very weird right now, but that's what I think makes the game exciting. Now, let me specify yet again, I am a casual player and I play the game casually to have fun. A lot of people in the gaming community as a whole seem to play games as a chore for some reason. I don't know. Going back to the weapon patch update section. There are plenty of weapons in the game that are overshadowed by others and have been for over 7 years. What's the way to fix this and freshen up the gameplay a little bit? Patch notes. I think so at least. I'm sure you can somewhat agree. It is getting boring to see the same items being used again and 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 again. So, what should we do about them? Should we just get new weapons and throw them in a tumble dryer and see what monstrosity pops up? I mean, maybe. Do you have any other idea on how to make the game actually have updates that feel like good updates? Of course, if you do, leave a comment, please. I'm sure there are a lot of people that disagree with me. And in return, I will try to make a video covering any of the comments I find fit. But what can we do? Well, nothing, right? And here comes my theory. If Valve reacts like they do not care, like they have done for around 7 years now, I am talking about the game, not the comics or anything outside the game, by the way, then what would they do if we stopped caring? Now, I know it is basically a shot in the dark, but think about it. We have given them money for all these years for content that they didn't even make themselves, ranging from new stamps, toads, cosmetics, right? Now, let me ask you this. What do you think they would do if the player count, I don't know, magically dropped by the thousands? Would they go like, whatever, can't be asked? Or would they be like, oh my god, what happened? Our money source has disappeared, what happened? Quick, throw a big update to get more players! What do you think? Would Valve really not care? As a corporation that gets their money of microtransactions and games on Steam? That one of the biggest moneymakers just started giving them nothing all of a sudden? Obviously not, right? Think of the bigger picture. Put yourself in their shoes. Okay. You there? Nice. Cool. Concentrate. I'm gonna speak to you. And you're going to imagine. You're gonna put these thoughts. What I'm saying. My words are going to go into your ears and into your brain. And I want your brain to process what I am saying and actually do what I'm telling you to. Would you really just let a game die? The game that you put effort and money into just go to waste? No! You'd want to bring those players back to keep getting paid by them, alright? Just to give you an idea of how much they earn from TF2 yearly, I want to thank Zesty Jesus for the screenshot. Very nice, very nice. Yes, I did ask him if I could do it. Here's the screenshot of that. Yeah, so it's not like they can't give us an update. What am I saying? I propose that we make an event where as a community, we don't play the game for a day or a week and see how Valve responds. I mean, take a look at how they responded to #SaveTF2, where they responded with... And what did they actually do? Fix the issues that we had for so long after we literally begged them for months on all platforms? Do you think they do not have access to the internet and seriously, wholeheartedly did not notice that we were having a mental breakdown over the bots? Do you really think they care? Now, you might be saying,
what if they don't do anything?
Then simply, they won't do anything. It's like an abusive relationship. They will either pretend not to care, or they will step up their game and improve. We tried, and that's what matters. Game dying will be inevitable. But at least we could say that we tried. We will keep getting mid-updates, at best, until the game dies. Now, I know I am but a simple ant in the community, but I am part of the community of a game that I love. And I want change. It's not like I'm the only person that wants change in this game. And honestly, I know that deep down, Valve actually stopped caring. And they've done so ages ago. You didn't have to have studied psychology to know that. I am ready for this movement to flop. Am I sad about it? Not really. Disappointed maybe. But I do have other games that I can migrate to. You might think I'm stupid and delusional. Maybe you're right. However, let me ask you this. Would you rather die kneeling or die standing against what is wrong? Hello, this is Future the Fuck speaking, by the way. I should probably tell you that before I start talking. But yeah, I know I'm late to the hype train and everything, but I've did a lot of research about it. Much later than I should have, honestly. This whole project has been a mess. But anyway, I've watched a YouTuber called Colonel Zack alongside Wheezy TF2. I'll link both of the videos in the description, but basically what they're talking about is sort of the message I want to get across, especially Wheezy. He talks about the movement we could do, which I thought ties in directly with what I tried doing at the end of this talking at the end of talking in this project, you know? So, I'm gonna link their videos down in the description. I know I'm late to the hype train, I know I'm sorry, I know this video is a mess, but if you managed to make it this far, I love you, and you're amazing. I'll try to improve. Of course, this is my first big video, so, yeah. I'll link their videos down in the description, alongside with their channels, alongside with everything else I used for this video. So yeah, love you. Mwah. Thank you all so much for watching. This was more of a bigger video. It has been the biggest one I've made so far, so I am really happy to share it with you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, as I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Again, thank you for watching and stay safe. Toodles!